will be my personal agenda and agenda for NNF Gujarat in the next 1 year for KMC. So now I would like to have some words from Dr. Hiren Patel, who is the president of Academy of Gujarat, Academy of Pediatrics of Gujarat. Please, Dr. Hiren Patel, please share your knowledge and words and your plan for KMC with us.
Good afternoon, everybody from Academy of Pediatrics Gujarat. First of all, I would like to appreciate Dr. Mohit Sahni for taking this initiative to celebrate International KMC Awareness Day in a different way in this current COVID-19 situation. I would like to appreciate Dr. Sasi Vaniman and her team for all the work they are doing to promote the KMC since many years. AOP Gujarat is working since long with KMC Foundation and NNF at various platforms for the course this KMC promotion, and it will always remain our priority to include Kangaroo Mother Care in all our conferences as well as CMEs. Through our city branches also we have organized various training sessions in past and this year also in the beginning for paramedics as well as pediatricians. AOP Gujarat is working for reinforcement of KMC practice among pediatricians on regular basis. We have successfully convinced Government of Gujarat to make KMC practice compulsory to all private hospitals, those who are enrolled under Bal Sakha Yojana. But I believe this is not enough. Now almost all pediatricians are aware of techniques and advantage of KMC, but in reality, reason what I think is lack of acceptance by our nursing staff and parents as well. To remove this barrier of doubt and fear among our staff and mothers of tiny babies, we need good counseling, and that too again and again on a repeated basis. All pediatricians need to give confidence about safety and benefits of KMC at their individual levels also. It's my experience that almost all pediatricians, paramedics, health workers in government sector are trained for KMC. But at periphery level and in government hospital, it is not converted into actual practice or in action. We need to rectify such loopholes. We believe that to practice KMC is feasible and beneficial at every level of newborn care, and AOP Gujarat is committed for spread of this message to every pediatrician and community in all the possible ways. Thank you very much, NNF and KMC Foundation and DREV people, to giving this platform and celebrating KMC Awareness Day in some different way. Goodbye from my side. It's over to Vinay.
Yeah. Dr. Mohit, you are on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Hiren. That was a real, the groundwork we need to do, and you have imparted that plan very well. So now I would like to request Dr. Vani ma'am to, as everybody knows, she is the mother of neonatology and KMC in India, and she has taken a lot of initiative in implementing the KMC and everything all over India. So, and she is now presently the managing trustee of KMC Foundation India. So, madam, please enlighten us with your few words on KMC. Thank you, ma'am.
First of all, namaste and greetings for this KMC Awareness Day. And I'm really very happy that in Gujarat, all of us are gathering together, both from NNF, IAP, and all the other different forums. Others are also joining us to celebrate this KMC Awareness Day. All of you will be very happy to know that almost 30 years ago, we introduced Kangaroo Mother Care for the first time in India from Gujarat. And from that day, we are striving to make it effective. Kangaroo Mother Care, we are not talking in a vertical fashion, isolated fashion, but it should become a part of the routine newborn care. That is our vision. And we have been promoting the three slogans now. That is, mother's chest is the best place for the newborn care. Mother's milk is the best food for the newborn. and zero separation of the mother and baby. And I'm very, very happy to say that today, in this COVID era, especially, all the international agencies have endorsed these statements very vehemently and requested us to promote it in a big way. That is, we don't want to stop breastfeeding, we don't want to stop kangaroo mother care, and we want to encourage mother and baby being together, not separate them. And the same slogans they found much more value in this COVID era. So I'm really happy that we are taking up this topic and hope we will progress it along. And as I have been repeatedly saying, we do realize that KMC is not just a poor man's incubator. It is not only for preventing hypothermia, but with increasing evidence, strong evidence, we have realized that it is much more superior to an incubator, and it has a comprehensive approach towards the newborn care. So ultimately, we are aiming towards improving the newborn care, and current focus is through KMC because it is one of the weak links we found. So from that angle, I am focusing on kangaroo mother care to the extent people think I know only kangaroo mother care and nothing else. So that is the image we would like to say, that it should become part of the newborn care. And this is relevant not only for the poor communities, but even in the best of the corporate hospitals also, it has to be practiced. Now in Scandinavian countries who claim to have the best services and best figures for the newborn and infant health parameters, they are also promoting kangaroo mother care in a very big way, because it is not only helping for the mere survival of the babies, but it is also helping for the good nurture and good thriving well of the babies. So that is our ultimate goal, that we want our babies not just survive, but they should survive with good nurture, good care, good love, and good thing. And from that angle, I hope we will take it up. And unless minimum of 90% people practice kangaroo mother care with good quality, the impact will not be felt. Otherwise, if we do half-hearted attempts and if the impacts are not felt, then it will boomerang. Just like now we are saying, institutional deliveries are increasing, but still there is no impact on the newborn care. Similarly, people might say we are doing KMC, but no impact is seen. We have to realize the coverage has to be with good quality and good quantity. And from that angle, I hope all of us we will strive and take up KMC right from the community to the facility at all levels. I congratulate all these organizers and especially NNF and Gujarat NNF for taking up this initiative in this difficult time, and wish you all the success and offer all our possible help for achieving our goal. Currently, we have achieved barely 25 to 27% in the best of the states, and some of the areas it is less than 5%. And in private sector, it is hardly visible. And that is my plea here through you, that all people in the private sector should give a little more attention to kangaroo mother care. It is not glamorous. It is not economically very, very viable thing, but from human investment, it is one of the best investment, and I hope all of you will succeed. Thank you very much for taking up this topic and giving us this opportunity to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much for your kind and very experienced word. I think so in 5 minutes you have summarized the whole KMC. So that is really kind of you, and surely we will follow your guidance and your guidelines laid by you and by your foundation and your team. Now I would like to welcome Dr. Suman Rao. She is a professor of neonatology at St. John's Medical College Hospital in Bangalore, and she is also a consultant in WHO Department of MCA. She has done her DM from St. GS Medical College Hospital, KM Hospital, Mumbai, and everybody knows she is one of the leading powerhouse in research in KMC. So, madam, please, she is going to talk about the on the subject of barriers to KMC uptake and ways to increase the community awareness, experience of scaling up KMC research in Karnataka. So, madam, please, the screen is yours.
Okay,
Good afternoon, and thank you NNF Gujarat and IAP Gujarat for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And I'm really thrilled to be with you all virtually, if not in person. Vinay, is it okay if I share my screen?
just one request before you start the presentation. I have just a small poll on KMC, which I want everyone to reply to. I'm just launching it. Please kindly reply to this poll. This will help us to better understand where to actually focus on. All the hosts, please do not touch on end poll. If you want to close it, you can close it from the top of it. Okay, the poll will go on. Ma'am, you can start sharing your screen.
Okay. Today what I would like to do is to share my experience on scaling up KMC that we have done in Karnataka. And if time permits, I would also like to share a bit about the KMC research that we have been doing in WHO. So thanks for this wonderful opportunity. And before I start off, I would like to say pranam to my teachers who are here, Dr. Rekha Udani, who is one of the pioneers of KMC in India, and Dr. Shashivani Madam. And with that, I would start off. So why is there need for scale up? I think Dr. Vani has already told us about it. This is the meta-analysis of kangaroo mother care, and you will not find a stronger meta-analysis in the Cochrane reviews. Where have you seen a respiratory, RR of 0.12, that is for hypoglycemia? Overall, if you see, kangaroo mother care can reduce 40% of the mortality in these low birth weight babies, and it has immense benefits of reducing sepsis by 65%, hypothermia by 78%, and 88% of hypoglycemia. In addition, as we all know, it promotes growth and helps the baby. So in fact, it is a total healthcare strategy for the low birth weight baby, and that has the potential of saving 2 lakh deaths per year in the world. Having said that, like Madam said, the coverage of kangaroo mother care is poor. In 2016, when we started this study, the global coverage of kangaroo mother care was less than 5%. So one of the questions which WHO was looking at was, how can we improve the facility-initiated KMC, the coverage of it? At the same time, one of the other reasons for poor coverage was that kangaroo mother care was being advocated for only stable babies. And therefore, almost a third of the babies who die in the first 2-3 days would not even reach stability to get kangaroo mother care. So there was a question of whether we can start KMC in unstable babies, and also another question on, can we initiate KMC in the community and not in the facility? So these were the 3 big questions that WHO was looking at. And these were the 3 research projects it started with. And we were fortunate to be part of the Scale Up KMC study in Karnataka. And this was an implementation research, very different from the conventional research that we do. In the conventional research, our methodology is decided upfront, and we do not know the results, we wait for it. But in implementation research, we were already given our outcome. That is, you have to achieve a high coverage of 80% of KMC with good quality KMC. And that we defined as minimum 8 hours of KMC along with exclusive breastfeeding. And this was a population-based study. It was not in one institute or 2 hospitals. This was in an entire district level that every low birth weight baby less than 2 kgs born in that district should get effective KMC. And this was done in many sites. There were 4 sites in Ethiopia and there were 3 sites in India. In India, it was being done in the Sonipat district in Haryana, the Raebareli district in UP, and we were the team who were doing this implementation research in Koppal. So this is what I'll be discussing now. We are our 3 partners and we chose Koppal, which is here, if you see, quite far away from Bangalore, 400 kilometers away almost. The reason was the health indicators in this place, in Koppal district, was far poorer as compared to the rest of Karnataka and even the rest of India. And therefore, it was decided by the government of Karnataka that we would like to do this implementation research in Koppal district. So though it was difficult being so far away from where we partners were, that is in Bangalore, we started off this implementation research in Koppal. Now, this was done in a phased manner. For the first 3 months, we had a formative phase where we learned and looked at the barriers. And then we started implementing it first in only a few facilities, that in the first model. And subsequently, we increased the number of facilities that we were including. So we first started in 1 taluk and then increased it to all the 4 taluks of the district. Now here the methods underwent change. So we took up this adopt, adapt and abandon model. That is, we tried different things to ensure that we had a good coverage of KMC. If the interventions we did worked well, we adopted it. If they needed a little tweaking, we adapted it. But if we found that it just didn't work, we abandoned it. So this was the model that we used, very similar to the QI principles that we do use. And throughout this whole research, the program learning team fed into this model to know where we were. So what were the barriers to KMC that we really identified? The first and foremost was even identification of the low birth weight. We did a formal low birth weight validation study, and we found that in these hospitals, that is in the district hospital and in the PHCs, 25% of the babies who were labeled as normal weight were actually low birth weight. And then if we looked at exactly 2.5 kg, if you found a weight of exact 2.5 kg, 2/3 of the time, you could be sure that they were low birth weight. So the nurses were rounding and heaping it off. And when we looked at low birth weight, our research nurses picked up the incidence was 35%, whereas in the facilities, they could identify only 18% as low birth weight. And when we further looked at the population that we were interested in for the research, we found that our research nurses, the incidence was 5.5% as compared to 2.2%. Why did we find this as a big barrier? Because in most of these places, they did not have a digital weighing scale. They had a beam balance, and we know that each marking in there is around 50 grams, and it caused a lot of confusion. So WHO across all the 7 sites in Ethiopia and India replaced all the beam balances and all the weighing machines and gave the Seeker digital weighing machines to all the hospitals and nursing homes in these districts. So that was a barrier which was easy to overcome. The second big barrier that we found in the formative research was convincing the health personnel. And therefore, to support the implementation, we had 2 types of mentors, nurse mentors and specialist mentors. The nurse mentors were research personnel who were nurses, and we had around 10 to 12 of them, and we trained them quite extensively for 15 days in St. John's, and they had continuing training ongoing, and they were working in place on site in these district hospitals and PHCs. They would visit all the PHCs by turns, and their job was to support the nurses not only in KMC, but also in other newborn procedures and skills, and use the QI principles to bring about improvement in care. Similarly, the specialist mentors were us, basically neonatologists and other doctors from St. John's, and we would visit this place once a month, do model rounds, support the pediatricians, implement evidence-based protocols, and we helped them set up a QI committee in the district hospital so that they could take this forward by themselves. So this was a mentoring tools that we used, and we conducted emergency newborn drills. We had a lot of skills for the nurses. All the nurses in the entire district who would care for newborns underwent an intensive skill-based workshop in newborn care. The focus was not only on KMC, but the entire newborn care package for these low birth weight babies. Training was one aspect, but the big issue in KMC is motivation. How do you keep up these people, the nurses in the district hospitals, their motivation up? Some of them don't even get a salary for months together, and they work under really resource constrained environment. How to keep up this? So we had a lot of different things to try. And one of the things we did was having a KMC champion. And also we tried to give them their own data to show how well they were progressing, which would itself be a motivation. We found that kangaroo mother care counseling is one of the most important aspects. And for this, we not only train the nurses, but in all these government hospitals, you have a category called counselors, and we train them extensively to support kangaroo mother care. The big barrier we found was not doctors, was not nurses, but doctors. The nurses would implement KMC, but they would wait for the orders by the doctors. So the doctor had to say, yes, this baby is ready for kangaroo mother care. But the main thing with the doctors, unfortunately, is they still think it is a poor man's alternative. If I don't have an incubator or a warmer, let me try kangaroo mother care. And particularly in the private hospitals, they said we have enough warmers and incubators. So why should we focus on kangaroo mother care? Not that they denied that they would use, but they would use kangaroo mother care only during discharge, tell them to continue this at home, but wouldn't implement it in the hospital. And the big thing was to decide when to start kangaroo mother care. So this concept of stable newborn was really stretched, and most of the time KMC would be started more like a cosmetic thing, starting just before discharge. And therefore we had to work on the doctors a lot. And we conducted a lot of CMEs, and we tried to get in the teachers of these doctors who were working in this district so that they would have a great influence. And the one big message that we try to push during these CMEs is that kangaroo mother care is not just about thermal control. It is not a poor man's alternative, but it is the best care for the neurodevelopment of the baby. And we highlighted all these issues to them. We talked about how stable doesn't mean a baby who's ready for discharge, but any baby who is just not on any mechanical respiratory support, who is maintaining saturations even on a minimal oxygen, tolerating some feed, should be given kangaroo mother care. We focused a lot on the brain, highlighted about the studies like this one, where the nurse from Calcutta has done her PhD showing that kangaroo mother care improves neurodevelopment, even when compared to babies who are exclusively breastfed. And also the wonderful work done by Charpak from Columbia, who has shown that 20 years later, even then, kangaroo mother care has a lasting impression on the brain, and the brain of these babies who received KMC as babies 20 years ago were far better than those who did not receive KMC. And in fact, they had, even at 20 years, they had better school attendance, better wage, lesser neurodevelopmental abnormalities. So we focused on that. It's not only about survival, it's also about thriving. And that's the best care that we can give. This was the other thing that we had done at the same time in St. John's Hospital. And here we had done a study to look at the effect on neurodevelopment. And here the two comparative groups was not KMC and no KMC, because that is unethical. Here we looked at those babies who did KMC early, that is less than 3 days, and who did for prolonged period of time, that is more than 8 hours per day. and compared them to babies who started it a little late or did not get them for a prolonged duration. And we found that this small difference itself made a big difference for the BSID outcomes. At 1 year, babies who started early and got prolonged KMC had much better neurodevelopmental outcome as compared to those who got KMC but got it a little later and not for prolonged period. And therefore, the quality of KMC becomes very, very important. So what did we do there? How do we promote prolonged KMC in these places? Having a kangaroo mother care ward is an absolute essential if we have to have prolonged KMC. And therefore, we went about setting up KMC wards in not only the district hospital, but in other CHCs of the district. And even in PHCs, we identified some areas for kangaroo mother care, and we call them as the KMC ward or the KMC corner, because some babies who are more than 1.8 kgs may not be referred out of the PHC. And at the same time, some babies may refuse to go to the district hospital. So PHCs had KMC wards. And even in the district, we found that the KMC ward is not enough to support all the low birth weight babies. Therefore, we had a KMC ward in the postnatal ward in addition to the one near the NICU. Private hospitals was a challenge, but there were some private hospitals like the Amar Hospital in Gangavati who really supported, and they gave us space and they set up kangaroo mother care wards, and those were our champions for promoting KMC in the private sector. We do need to remember that for them, it may be a loss of revenue because they are promoting KMC and not using their incubators and warmers. So almost 24 KMC wards were set up across this district. Now, this is another slide to just show the importance of setting up a KMC ward. In St. John's, for the past 20 years, we have been promoting KMC, but it's only when you actually collect data and look at it, you really know how well we are doing. So in 2015, we initiated a quality improvement program to increase the duration of KMC in St. John's. And when we collected the baseline data, we found that we were doing only 4.4 hours per day of kangaroo mother care. So we did QIs, which improved it to around 7 hours. But the two big things which made a difference were this. One is having a nurse dedicated to look at kangaroo mother care. And the second is having a KMC ward. So these were the two important things we implemented even in the Koppal district. As you know, the government allocates 4 nurses so that there is always a nurse for kangaroo mother care in the district hospital. We provided KMC kits so that they had a binder, they had Pallades, they had caps, socks. And very, very important is the respectful care for the mothers. Many of you all might think that a big barrier will be the mothers and will be the community, but we never found that. The families were totally ready to embrace KMC. The fathers were very eager to do KMC. And what we did was we had what is called an Akka model. Akka in Kannada means elder sister. Every KMC mother needs a support system. And she needs a support from her family, and she needs a support from other peer mothers who do KMC. And this was how we perceived the Akka model, that a KMC mother is surrounded by others who support her, who includes a peer mother, a family member, and also the nurse in the district hospital who supports her. We also did a lot of human-centric designs to improve kangaroo mother care duration. Because the mothers are going to stay in these KMC wards for very prolonged duration of time. And here you see them playing a snake and ladder game. And this snake and ladder game is unique, that it teaches them about danger signs and the benefits of KMC. So if they climb up a ladder, it is a benefit of KMC. And if they go down a snake, it is one of the danger signs that they are taught. So this is how the community, we had absolutely no problem in promoting kangaroo mother care in the community. So this was the basic model that we used. But as far as the community is concerned, the big challenge we found was the community facility linkage. We would discharge babies from the facility, but we would somehow lose them. We wouldn't know where they are, how they are doing. So how to ensure that they are immediately followed up by the ASHAs once they go back into the community? So there were 2 things that we did. In Karnataka, there is a system that at the time of discharge from the district hospital, the nurse should be calling up the respective ASHA. So we just tried to ensure that the system worked well. And the second thing we did, we put a little bit of onus on the family by giving them a linkage card. Said, go and give this to your ASHA worker, ensure that she comes and you give it to her as soon as possible. And this talked about how Kangaroo Mother Care had to be promoted. We had these WhatsApp groups for referral and communication, which worked very, very well. And we used a lot of micro planning to address the barriers for each mother at her place, at her home. So the barriers could be very varied. It could be that the mother has a lot of household chores. And so we try to look at it and address them by getting the family to commit to helping her. Times when the rest of them had to pitch in. There could be that there were medical issues with the mother. Some of the mothers perceived having a low birth weight as a stigma. So we had to work around that with the families. And sometimes, especially at some households, there was absolutely no privacy. So each of these barriers by micro-planning were addressed at an individual level. The ASHAs, we tried to get them to go and visit the low birth weight as soon as possible. And while we started the study, they would visit only by around third day. But as we worked with the ASHA facilitators and ASHA and improved their awareness, we were able to get them to visit these babies by a median of 1 day. And a lot of supportive by the outreach workers, a lot of community mobilizations. We used the local jatras and mass media to promote KMC. We had to do a lot of myth busting by talking about how the benefits of KMC, and we also tried to promote KMC before pregnancy. As far as whenever they would come for the high-risk pregnancy evaluation, KMC was promoted. A lot of news and celebrations, and here you see the Koppal triplets who became a big rage, and they were a big news in WHO as well as across the nation, and this gave a lot of mileage for Kangaroo Mother Care. Please do remember, when we're looking at a community population level, the government is very closely involved. In fact, they run the show, and we would only provide the data that we collected very meticulously from the KMC case sheet to them, so that they used KMC as an indicator. Currently, unfortunately, we do not have the KMC sheet in our SNCU case sheet, and the plan is still on to get them in so that we can get better data about Kangaroo Mother Care. So the results of this study is as shown here. We were able to initiate KMC at a population level to an extent of more than 85%. So you see that 85% of the babies in Koppal district got some form of KMC if they were low birth weight, and this was higher in the government facility, particularly at the CHC level as compared to the private facility, which was also at 87%. But effective KMC was around 70% in the government hospitals, and in the private, where we still need to work on, it was around 40%. Again, the government facilities were starting a little earlier as compared to the private facilities, and even after going home, you do see that most of the mothers are practicing Kangaroo Mother Care and continue to do so by 7 days and 28 days. So the results from the KMC Karnataka side was very, very similar to the ones that we found across Ethiopia and other countries. Initiation of KMC at all 7 sites was more than 80%. Exclusive breastfeeding was more than 75%, and effective KMC from less than 5%, in a matter of 2 years, we could take it up to 60%. Any KMC at discharge was around 70%. So the key learnings from this are, first of all, you need to weigh the baby accurately. You need to provide respectful Kangaroo Mother Care. Remember that KMC is not a standalone intervention. You have to integrate it along with the continuum of care. And this community facility linkage is absolutely essential. And the whole thing has to be very meticulously monitored. Data has to be collected, and this data has to be shared with the stakeholders so that you can review it and you can improve on it. So with that, I would like to conclude my presentation. I had a bit of something else also, but I think the time frame is done. So I'll go to my last slide, And these are the KMC triplets that you saw who received KMC. This was a very important social story for us. This mother, Renuka, already had 1.5-year-old girl child when she had 3 girl children as triplets. And she was not ready to take care of them. She wanted to go home. One was 1.5, 1.2, and the other was 1.3. The district hospital supported her. She did kangaroo mother care alone for all these together. And subsequently also UNICEF supported her. And every year till now, the birthday of these triplets is still being celebrated in a big way in Koppal district. So thank you very much and for giving me this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing the lovely picture.
Dr. Mohit.
Yes, Dr. Mohit.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Even though really hard to go till this level, and for one basic things to show the improvement of the results. I will. Thanks a lot. Now for the next topic of improving quality of KMC provided in the hospitals across India. The guidance for practitioners to be because he's being busy with a lot of things, he cannot come. But now this topic has been presented by Mrs. Meena Joshi. She is a senior um, nurse in charge who is being involved in a lot of research work of WHO collaborative 50 years in it, and she is one of the champions of uh, for various projects which involve QI in AIMS. So that will be very helpful for all of us. We welcome some information stations you have been doing in KMC. Thank you.
Meena, ma'am, can you hear me? Can you hear me, ma'am? I don't think she can hear us.
Yes.
Yes.
Video is off.
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me? We can't hear you, ma'am.
Unmute. She required to do unmute.
She is on mute. मीना जी, आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है क्या? अगर आप ईयरफोन से ट्राई कर रही हैं तो ईयरफोन या तो निकाल दीजिए, हो सकता है उससे आवाज ना आ रही है। अभी आ रही है आप? मे बी आप एक बार या तो बंद करके वापस से लिंक शुरू कर लीजिए, हो सकता है उससे हो जाए ठीक। Dr. Ashish, do you think you will be able to do it meanwhile?
I'm ready.
Okay, just give me a second.
Make me a presenter.
You are already a presenter.
Yeah. I'm a presenter.
Yes. Oh, yes, you are. You will be able to share screen once Dr. Mohit introduces you. Go ahead, sir.
Hello everyone. Sorry for this technical glitch. I think so. We will go ahead with Dr. Ashish Mehta's lecture and then we can go on to with Mrs. Meena. So welcome, sir. Thanks for joining us. And everybody knows like who is Ashish Mehta. Amitabh Bachchan in neonatology. So he is in charge of Urban Newborn Center and is a senior consultant neonatologist based at Ahmedabad. And he has a lot to add to the literature of neonatology in India. So we welcome sir. So he will be speaking on like how we can improve KMC care in private sector in India. So that's what was the main stress by Vani madam also. Please sir, welcome sir.
Yeah, I'm not able to share the screen. Mohit, probably I'm the moment I put the share screen, I can see your screen. My screen is not coming up. Okay, it's happening.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, good afternoon, everyone. At the beginning, I must thank NNF Gujarat, IAP Gujarat, AOP Gujarat rather, and KMC Foundation for giving me this opportunity. I very closely was listening to what Mani Madam and Dr. Suman Rao said about the private practice. But the first thing that I would like to argue here would be, of course, I'm not fighting for any debate, but the reality is that why this difference? Why the public versus private difference in the KMC care? And I don't agree to the statement that the private practitioners would not like this established practice or the standard of care as far as newborn is concerned. First of all, it has been well accepted worldwide and it has become a standard of care. So there is no question of doubting whether one should do it or not. The time has come that if I don't do it, maybe legally I'm doing something wrong to the baby. And as a doctor, the day I've taken that oath, I'm not supposed to do that, which is not in the interest of my patient or my clients. So all of us in this group need to understand that kangaroo mother care is established practice and everyone is supposed to do it, whether it's public or it's a private. In this year, 2020, we know that this kangaroo mother care is standard practice for last 2 decades. And I have got few good slides to support that. So my all clients, mothers, fathers, family, they do know what is kangaroo mother care. Of course, the things have changed for last 5 years because of the strong effort by the Kangaroo Care Foundation #1 and people around like Dr. Surekha Udani, Dr. Suman Rao, everyone around. The concept of Kangaroo Mother Care is now just sitting into the community. And as far as private practice is concerned, antenatal classes from where this to-be mother learn about pregnancy. Those who are attending for us. I strongly felt that to offer a kangaroo mother care, to convince a family or father or mother to practice KMC depends on the doctor's willingness or a setup in the private who is ready to offer that care, which includes medical, paramedical, spacing, costing, everything. So it's all upon the willingness of a person or the setup whether this is to be done or not. Mother, rich or poor, or any social class doesn't make any difference. They all love it and they are eager to take their baby on the breast as early as possible. There are few hurdles that I will discuss in the next few slides. Now, 2005, original research from the one of the faculty, Dr. Suman Rao, Dr. Rekha Udani, and Dr. Ruchi Nanavati. 2005, this research paper got a gold medal in the annual conference National Dental Forum. And look at that, already showed the benefit of kangaroo mother care, and no one can escape from this. Dr. Suman Rao showed everything. It has effect on the growth, anthropometric measurements, breastfeeding, temperature, sepsis. She already showed 2016 excellent Cochrane meta-analysis where KMC all the way provides benefit. There is no harm of this particular therapy. So a private practitioner cannot escape from this fact, and we just learn, try to be vocal for the local. This is local. Why so? Because KMC was originally introduced by another senior person in the group, Dr. Shashimani, long back. I'm talking about when I was medical student, when I was just into MBBS, we heard she was teaching to my colleague in the pediatric department. The other people in the globe, they did some research on this and they are coming out with the data, and we lose our original research. So we all need to be vocal for the local thing that we have found out. Kangaroo mother care is Indian origin. Unfortunately, this data, kangaroo mother care is, and that is also from Government India 2017, that is also not being religiously practiced in the public setups, public domains. You can see that only less than 20% SNCU admitted with this KMC in 12 states, 6 states offered 20 to 30%. Of course, this is 2017. A lot has changed in last 3 years, and we are happy to see the way Dr. Suman has worked and showed the response that 87% out 87% setups in the private, sorry, in the public, and 86% somewhere in the private, they would initiate the practice. There are few hurdles for the effective KMC being offered in the private practice. Let me tell you what we do. We are looking after mixed population, and our main area is looking after very small babies. I'm talking about babies less than 800 grams and talking about less than 28 grams, 28 weekers. Still, all babies coming to an ICU receives KMC, and once I'm using once stabilized, because we know that this 20 to 28 weeker, they are very fragile. Initial days, the duct is open, and Mohit will agree that the open duct can do everything possible on the earth. And that's why once I find them stabilized, I'm talking about babies less than 28 weeker and talking about babies about 600 to 800 grams. Once they are stabilized, then offer KMC is being given. Even on CPAP, even with the central line, we do offer KMC, but not for very tiny babies, less than 26 weeker, less than 80 grams, while on CPAP. Once this group is off CPAP, we start offering KMC. We also involve the father. Only problem with the father is timing. Still, because of the social taboos and all that, getting exposed in front of the mother, at times father feels shy about that. And not only that, out of 6 mothers, if one father is offering KMC, mother will also feel shy about that. So we do encourage father to offer KFC, kangaroo father's care, but then in private sector, timing need to be changed, and that's at times becoming a little bit logistically difficult. There are many success stories. More important part is, I think, the counseling at the admission. Good number of babies are being delivered electively because of the in utero problems. They do come to us for the counseling before baby is being delivered or before baby is being or cesarean normal has been done. So the Kangaroo mother Kangaroo KMC concept is introduced right at the counseling, and they are told that the moment we find baby stabilized, mother need to come daily, spend some time in the nursery, and with help of the sister, she need to offer kangaroo care. I was surprised to know this statement by Dr. Suman Rao, because for the private practitioner, she says that there is a loss of revenue. Yes. If you look at the total figures, if you look at the compare kangaroo mother care board charge and the NICU charge, yes, there is a loss of revenue. But in fact, you gain so many things by doing right thing and by offering transparency to the parents. And that is not matchable. So I strongly feel that offering kangaroo mother care in a private practice is never ever a loss of revenue. You can explain that baby need to stay in the NICU, and for that matter, you need to pay. Mother can offer kangaroo mother care. We offer support to the mother in all the ways. We offer all support to the baby all the ways. But revenue, in my personal experience, is never a problem. In fact, I think we should stop talking about kangaroo mother care, all private or public setup. It is a time for us to trigger to family center care. Mother need to stay with the baby for all through the NICU stay. Of course, the place or the space will be logistic issue, but this can also be thought upon or can be planned appropriately. Before I go, when I take your permission to show a small video, the effect of kangaroo care for the mother-in-law, Dadi and the mother. I'll play a small video. I hope I can do that. I don't know whether, yes, I can do that. Just a minute. I just start this screen. Just listen to that. For the Suman, if she is there, you have got translation in English there.
Sir, if you are sharing a video, then you have to select all your desktop. If you share only PPT, then you can't share anything else.
Okay.
Yes.
You can't see?
So no, we can't see anything. What you can do is unshare completely. Stop sharing.
Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, doesn't matter.
Okay, cool.
Can you see the PPT now?
Yes, we can see the PPT all the time.
Okay, so if I want to show this video, how can I do that?
So you have to stop share and then start share again, and then select whole desktop instead of just one application.
So stop sharing PPT first.
Stop sharing completely your desktop. 1 second, I'll stop sharing. Okay, now start share.
So I'll again start playing the video straight away?
No, first
okay,
you
I'll share the screen, yes.
What options does it show you after that?
Yeah, I got that. It's there down. Yes.
And yes.
Can you see that?
Yes, now
great.
we can.
Yeah. This is about a 22-weeker, 480 gram of baby. And look at the mother's or grandmother's reaction on this KMC.
Is the audio off of the video?
22-weeker.
Initial part.
So grandmother is feeling that the actual mother became mother only when the KMC was offered. Yeah, now we need to stop this. Go back to the presentation.
Yeah, just close this application. You will be able to share the presentation.
Yeah, is there?
Yes.
Just stop sharing. You can do that.
1 second. Yeah.
Yeah, can you see that? Can you see that now?
So you have to share screen again, sir.
Okay, sure. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Yes.
So now,
Yes, go ahead, please.
so basically, what I understand it is this is a 22-weeker. Even we could convince the mother that this is must, and of course she was a bit afraid about holding the baby at that level. Still, that was done. And look at the feeling. They say that I became mother only when I took this baby on the breast, and that is how it should be. It is all depend. It all depends on the doctors and the setup's willingness whether this is to be done. As far as revenue is concerned, if I'm giving KMC at 26 weeks, Mohit and everyone sitting here doing private practice, they would know what is revenue loss. Keeping 26 weeker with KMC and not charging or less charging, it's not possible. It all depends on how to counsel them. This 26 weeker need to be in the NICU and you need to pay charges for that. KMC, yes, we'll do it. And I don't think there is any problem for that. Now, when I was given this topic, I thought that what are the hurdles, and very small, quick study was done. This is about involving about, I'll say 200 odd mothers, and was looking at which are the factor which are responsible for which are hurdles. And if you can see that we all thought that it was the pain in the sutures that will not make them happy and they would not like to do that. No. It was the list number 21% only had pain in the suture, giving reason for not to do KMC. We convinced them, paracetamol dolo was given and sit with them. Second was we thought that might be mother might be feeling tired because of the just postpartum period. No, that was also not the major reason. And no family support is also not the reason for, or no, was not a major reason for not offering kangaroo mother care. If you look at here, actually the major reason was lack of knowledge in caregivers. This was the major problem, and that is where we all need to work on that. We try to put the all kind of posters which I got from the Kangaroo Mother Care Foundation conference at Lucknow. Somehow they are not interested in reading that. It is all one-to-one counseling either by me or my doctors or by the sisters. The good part is that the moment they start visiting the NICU, they see other mothers doing it, number one. And number two would be that we make a sort of a, mother make a group, not we, mother make a group and they discuss in between, they discuss amongst them, what about the kangaroo mother care, when it was to be given, baby was feeling better, weight gain started picking up after that. So it becomes a less of a burden as far as counseling concerned. One mother gets into the NICU and start talking to other mothers. If we find that mother is not encouraged to do that, we try to counsel them that this is required. And most of the time, they are already with that. Then second issue was less introduction of KMC. Like someone rightly said that offering KMC at discharge will not serve the purpose. That's not the way to, that's like a, that's more of a glamorous thing that yes, we do kangaroo mother care, but that's not the way to do it. Yes, staff issue becomes, yes, that's a problem because every time you do not have a real trained sister, and I want sister particularly talk for the 26-28 because baby offering kangaroo mother care. I want a sister who is agile enough to understand baby goes apneic or goes bradycardic or baby goes stimulations or hypothermia. I want them to pick up at times. So at times, good staff is around. Yes, I'm confident to offer right from the word go. If the new staff is not the good or bad, new staff is there, I'll be a bit concerned about offering kangaroo care, but that is maybe a 1 or 2 shift. That is not a regular thing. Rest of the things that you can see, all these are the presence of male staff, yes, no other relatives, milk expressions, fear of baby falling. These are the different reasons which were shown to mother over a period of time to me for not getting into KMC. Otherwise, whether it's private or public, I strongly feel that kangaroo mother care is the way to go, and we do is as a regularly. In current case scenario, 1 or 2 mothers are even the coronavirus care, KMC and BA for neonates delivered to corona positive, but otherwise well mother, baby stays with the mother. Baby mother should wear mask and perform hand hygiene. This is what is required. If mother is asymptomatic but well, kangaroo mother care and breastfeeding can be offered. Those who are sick, yes, you separate them, but still you can offer EBM. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Ashish.
Hello everyone. Thanks a lot, sir, because this is very much needed, especially for people like us who are doing the private practice. And you are very much right. Like we have to teach the caregivers. That is the main hindrance, and we have to find a way to do it effectively. Now I would like to invite Meenaji from AIMS, and as everybody now must have seen on the screen, that she is the very senior nursing educator in AIMS, and she has a vast experience in neonatology of more than 30 years, and she has been involved in all the QI research projects and QI projects in AIMS. So it will be great experience for us to know about this, how we can apply QI in the newborns in the KMC, and how to uplift KMC by involving QI in the units. Welcome, Inaji.
Inaji, can you hear me now? You can unmute yourself. You are a co-host now. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
इको कर रही है इनकी आवाज.
Ma'am,
Can you hear me?
you have to switch off your laptop's audio and mute it so that you can do it from the phone.
I will talk from my.
Either one device has to be switched off completely.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So please share my slides.
You can now start share screen. Miraji, can you hear me? Hello? Yes.
Can you see my slides?
Yes.
Okay, can I start?
Ma'am, you have to switch off the. You have to just switch off the speakers of your laptop and mute yourself on laptop.
What I can do is
Just switch off the speaker on the laptop. No, not here. Your laptop speakers, ma'am. Not unmute mute. Your laptop speakers on your right corner of your laptop screen. You see on the right of your laptop, the bottom right of your laptop, there is a speaker icon. Bottom right, not left, right. There is
They'll have to minimize the Zoom screen. Yes.
Yes.
So then only, like, I don't know if she has.
Yes, ma'am. You can see your screen now.
Okay,
Hello,
can you
Meena ji.
hear me now?
Ma'am, you have to switch off the speakers of your laptop and mute on your laptop, please.
Mute laptop.
मीना जी आप लैपटॉप के नीचे राइट साइड के आपका जो एक आइकॉन है ना वॉल्यूम वाला जहाँ से हम नहीं आपका फिर भी एको कर रहा है कर दिया हाँ जी प्लीज आप इसको प्रेजेंटेशन मोड में ले लीजिए
Now can I start?
यस
Yes,
यस आप इसको
go ahead, ma'am.
प्रेजेंटेशन मोड में ले लीजिए
Okay, so I will be how to increase the volume. So
मीना जी पावर पॉइंट पे मतलब आप लैपटॉप स्क्रीन पे F5 दबाइए F5 it will become presentation mode.
F5.
Just F5 on the laptop so the presentation mode will come.
Okay, just wait.
I
Is
hope
it okay
that
now?
happens. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, can I start now?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so what we did in our NICU aims, like it for increasing the duration of kangaroo mother care, and it was started in around 2015. Before that also we were doing kangaroo mother care, but from 2015 onward, we used POCI approach to strengthen KMC in NICU. So POCI is point of care quality improvement approach to strengthen the KMC in our NICU. So as we all know that KMC has been identified as one of the safe and effective method for providing care to low birth weight babies. And just to summarize the benefits of KMC, already we have heard so much in the slides, but just to summarize, it increases the breastfeeding rate, better thermal control, less morbidity and mortality, early discharge from neonatal intensive care unit, and KMC initially given for 1 hour and gradually to be practiced uninterruptedly for 24 hours in a day as per WHO. So the problem in our unit which we were able to identify was that the eligible babies in our NICU, they were receiving KMC for 2 to 3 hours per day only. So we used point of care quality improvement methodology to address this quality gap. So these are the manuals, and we use 4-step QI methodology to address our gap. So this 4-step is you have to identify a problem, form a team, and make an aim statement. Then you have to analyze the problem, and then you have to develop the PDSA. Like, but analyze, each step again has 4 steps, which I will not be going, but just to tell you. And then we have to, once you know these are the problem, then you have to do PDSA, that is plan to study it. And then once you know that this idea is successful, then you adopt that idea. As Dr. Suman was saying, either you adopt, adapt, and abandon. So you adopt the idea and then you make it your, like, okay, this is our policies, these are the ideas which were successfully adopted in our unit. And then the main challenge is sustainability. Okay, so we, for like any, you want to do any quality improvement project in your unit, you have to have team, because if everyone is involved, then no one is involved. So for any quality improvement project, it is very important to form a team. So we form a team including nurse educator, that was myself, 4 nurses, resident doctor, faculty, and mothers. And then the eligibility criteria of the neonates were decided. So all preterm low birth weight babies, as soon as they become hemodynamically stable, means babies are not on inotropes, not intubated, not on ventilator, but babies on orogastric tube feed, IV fluid, minimum respiratory support, that is on continuous positive airway pressure, that is CPAP, is not a contraindication. Hemodynamically instability on ventilatory support or having shock, KMC may be delayed for days to weeks. So like in any quality improvement project, you have to form an aim from where you want to reach where. So our aim was to increase the duration of kangaroo mother care for low birth weight babies from the current baseline status, that is 3 hours per day to 6 hours per day at the end of 6 weeks, using comprehensive postnatal counseling on KMC in NICU. So we did it on babies who were admitted in NICU. So for any quality improvement project, when you want to achieve your aim, you should know where you stand. So for that, you should do your baseline data collection. So in fact, the baseline data collection were already done by a resident, but again we did a baseline data collection, and for this we did 1 week's baseline data collection, and in which we studied baseline assessment related to KMC practices, demographic profile related to mother and baby, weight and gestational age at birth, age at which KMC was initiated, median duration of KMC by using structured questionnaire, and barriers to KMC practices were identified using open-ended questionnaire. So we did root cause analysis, or you can say that fishbone analysis, to find out why our babies were not receiving KMC, why our mothers were not able to do KMC. So like it has 5 P. First is problem. So the problem was less hours of KMC. So it can be related to policy, it can be related to persons means healthcare providers. It can be related to procedure, it can be related to place. So the important factors which we were able to identify in our NICU were like people, the healthcare providers. We assume yes, the counseling done, okay, counseling done. But actually 1:1 counseling was done or not, whether the mother was able to understand or not, and like whether the healthcare providers were able to explain it up to the level that the family can understand it or not, that was missing. And then when it comes to the like environment, yes, there were some issues like privacy, and the issues were like non-availability of breast pump, and some policies which were related to policies were like NICU policy. The fathers were allowed only during the visiting times. They were not allowed 24/7. So these were certain hurdles which we were able to identify. So what we did after this, we planned our PDSA cycle. So what happened, like we know this is the problem. So we have to plan like how to resolve it. So first we were we were able to identify was that most of the mothers and their family were not convinced, like they were not satisfied. Okay, why we have to do KMC? Why it is? In fact, the nurses were telling them the benefits of KMC, but still they were not able to convince them. So a complete comprehensive postnatal KMC package was formed. So in this, every nurse, assigned nurse, was made responsible as soon as the baby comes to the NICU, and the baby is actually we have 3 NICUs. One is like step down. So when the babies are critically sick, they are in other NICU, but once they are stable, we shift them to step down NICU, and here we show them the first contact counseling videos in which the parents were explained in detail what they are supposed to do now. So this video, we made this video, and every assigned nurse was made responsible to show this video to the parents and take signature. In this video, the complete what are the benefits of KMC, who all can do, and everything like how they have to do it. So everything is explained, and this was the first step which we did as a PDSA 1. And then subsequently the other problems were addressed, and we did PDSA 2, PDSA 3, PDSA 4. Approximately 4 PDSAs were done in this KMC project. So like here you can see comprehensive, it is 1:1 counseling. Assigned nurse is made responsible to counsel her mother and get signature. Yes, the video is shown to the entire family. Entire family means father, mother, or the decision maker in the family, mother-in-law. So they were involved and shown the video, and and it is a complete package. It explains everything. Now, the team meeting were done time to time to identify any asking. The parents were the part of the team meeting, and they were like, if they found any problem during why, if the KMC duration is less, so why the duration is less, so to know what are their hurdles. So team meetings were done every weekly to address the problem from the healthcare providers point of view as well as parents point of view. So the parents were the decision maker, because ultimately the KMC is to be done by the parents, so we have to listen them and make them as a part of our team. So then after 1 week, we studied the result. So average duration of KMC increased from actually it took 1 month. So from 3 hours to 6 hours within a span of 6 weeks. Number of mothers doing KMC for more than 6 hours in a day was almost 60%. And longest duration of KMC was up to 16 hours a day, and there was active involvement of mother and family members for doing KMC. Now here you can see that it was started in somewhere 2015, and when we reached to 2017, so you can see that the duration is around, median is around 8 hours. So from 3 hours in the year of 17, we reached up to 8 hours. We continued this, and the change idea which worked was complete comprehensive postnatal counseling for the mothers. So we assume that nurse has explained and the mother knows everything. But you know, whenever it is a teamwork. So whenever the faculty comes, so they ask mother, okay, the mother is doing KMC. Have you explained the benefit of KMC? Why you are doing it? But what are the benefits? Okay, who all are doing? So you know, top to bottom, everyone is involved. It is not only the assigned nurse, it is not only the in charge nurse, it is not only the resident doctor, but the faculty also. So the teamwork plays a very important role for achievement of success in any project. So everyone is involved. So change the visiting policy of unit. As I said, in our unit, fathers were allowed 4 to 6. 24/7 was not allowed. So now the family members who want to do KMC, close family member, father or grandparents, they are allowed 24/7 for KMC. You know, somehow accountability plays a very important role. Like if we say, okay, you have to do KMC, everyone will say yes, but then at the end of the day, no one does. But once it is accountability, like in each shift, we work for like 8-hour shift, we are responsible that at least 3 hours KMC you do in your shift. And if you're not doing 3 hours KMC, you have to write the reason why it was not done. So accountability also play a major role for success and failure of any project. Responsibility of resident doctors. You know, the assigned, okay, we know that KMC can be done without doctor's order, but still the resident JR is supposed to write in orders, and SR is supposed to check when before faculty takes round, SR is supposed to check whether it has been followed or not. And then final checkup is by the, you know, there are so many processes. Once I take over from my senior, like it is staff to staff over, they are checking. So they notify, okay, it is not done. Then the over is taken, one senior nurse is there while the over is going on, then she is asked, she will ask, okay, why it is not done. Then one more senior most come and she will check, okay. And then the results are displayed on the, you know, WhatsApp group or in our galleries. If anything goes wrong also, we just do team meeting and share it. So everyone is accountable, like why it has not been done. So when the faculty come, if any baby is having duration less, then faculty also asks why it is not done. So everyone is answerable. So making unit family centered, as I said, involving family and making family as a part of the treatment, they are the decision maker, is very, very important. So anyone who can do KMC, like father or close relative, and then making them as a team in NICU. And weekly team meeting and sharing data. Unless or until we share the data with our frontline workers, our nurses, they will not know what is going on. So it is a must to share data on monthly basis. So we share data on monthly basis. We do monthly basis. Every third Tuesday, we do QI meeting in which every project is shared. And Other than that, the results are shared on the NICU galleries every month. This is the data where we stand. And then identifying the champions, like, we have to motivate our frontline workers. So, like, okay, this nurse, her babies have received maximum. So, identify the nurse and the mothers also, and then just appreciate them for their work. Now, how we were able to, now it is like, it was started in 2015, but it's 20. So how we were able to sustain it? Right now, the KMC duration in our unit is 12 hours per day. So it is continuous motivation of nursing staff and mother, certificate of appreciation to nurses on monthly basis for maximum achievement of KMC duration in her duty, identifying mothers who are doing maximum hours of KMC and awarding them as champion of the month. It is always better if a mother who is doing KMC, so introduce them, the new mother, to the mother who are already doing. So, they work, this work much better than any other thing. And monthly audit, sharing data through WhatsApp group and displaying it on the notice board in NICU. And then celebrating the success for motivating the staff for sustaining the KMC in unit. So continuous positive reinforcement by resident. It is not only the nurse, but the resident doctors will do, the mothers who are already doing it, or the nurses. So it's a teamwork, and everyone is involved in motivating the mothers and increasing the duration of kangaroo mother care. And then celebration is very, very important. It is always important to appreciate the hard work or the work done by the frontline worker. Give them the credit. Okay, yes, you are the success behind. You are the pillar of the NICU, and this success depend on you only. So it's just motivate them, and they work full and wholeheartedly. And then displaying data in the NICU. So we keep on displaying data every month. So the nurses, when they pass through the gallery, they know, okay, these are the data, this is going on. So we are we are doing almost 10 or 12 QI projects. So every data is displayed. And one of the factor, the mothers, they were not expressing milk from both the breasts together. So expressing milk together from both the breasts, will help their time. So otherwise, maximum time, 9 hours are wasted in expression of milk only. So availability of breast pump as well as manual expression is to be encouraged, and simultaneously expression of milk from both the breasts is encouraged. And once you know that these are the change ideas, these work, then you can make policy of new, like a new nurse will come or a new resident will come. How she will or he will know that these are the change ideas which work. So we made policies and this eliminated them and displayed them in the unit. So every newcomer, they are supposed to read that this is the change ideas, these work, and these are the expectations from us. So we have to continue this work. So here again showing you the data of 2016. So it started from 4 hours, then it, see the trends. So it keeps on increasing, and now it is almost 12 hours per day. So again, just sharing the data of 2019. So sometime it goes 10, sometime, but it is almost 12 hours per day. And then this study has been published in Indian Pediatrics, and the conclusion is simple measures like comprehensive postnatal counseling program, active participation of family members, felicitation of nursing staff, and continuous positive reinforcement from nursing staff resulted in improving the duration of kangaroo mother care practices in the unit. Point of care quality improvement method is effective in achieving quality improvement to get better health outcomes. And then these are the resources. If anyone is interested, they can go through these resources. And it is all, just click the link and you will be able to found. Thank you. God, this is Sunaki. Hello.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks a lot, Minaji. It was really like, it's such simple measures. You can achieve such a great results. So it is very nice of you, and very we are very thankful to you to show us all these things. It was really good thing.
Thank you for
So
giving me
now,
this opportunity. And sorry for the disturbance, because I'm doing it from home and it's a new computer. So I just.
no, it's fine. That's normally happens to every one of us. So now we will have Vinay. We will just have this poll, and then I will hand over to Dr. Somshekhar Limbakar sir, who is a professor of and HOD of pediatrics at Karamsad Medical College. So after the Vinay's poll, sir, if you can just take over and conclude with the question answers and your summarization of today's KMC webcast. Thank you, sir.
Sir, you're on mute. Yeah.
Yeah, Vinay, can you go ahead with the poll and I can then answer? There are a few questions I can we can answer them.
I also, sir, want you to talk about this, the questions what we have put on poll, because I see there are, I mean, we have not taken them up yet. So I think it will be good if you can speak about those 4 questions also a little bit after the poll.
After the poll, okay, yeah, fine.
Yeah. Sir, go ahead. The poll will run anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, so there were 4 questions that were put out, and one of the first questions that was there was whether kangaroo mother care was introduced for reducing mortality of newborns in Colombia. Now, the reason why it was started was not actually, they did not even look at mortality. What used to happen is Colombia is actually in South America and known for drugs and football, and it is, of course, it is not a very rich country, so they had issues of resources, etc. So a lot of these parents used to come to for deliveries. Babies used to be small, and then they used to feel that the babies anyway going to die, and they used to abandon the babies and go. So to kind of resolve that problem as to why abandonment of babies, and to ensure that some care is taken of the babies, this idea of using kangaroo mother care was initiated by Ray and Martinez in the late 80s or late 70s. And so once they began using it, they found that abandonment of babies reduced drastically. Not only that, the even babies with less than 1 kg weight, with not so good neonatal care, even during that time, maybe 40 years back, they began surviving. A large number of babies started surviving. So that was how the genesis of kangaroo mother care began in Colombia. After that, what happened is because they found that it was useful and babies started improving and surviving, then they started doing the research and all the things that came out after it. So when Suman mentioned about brain development, it was published in KMC, children going to school more than those babies who did not get KMC. All that research is actually from Colombia, and they followed those adolescents up later when they're around maybe 15 to 20 years of age. So the reason for introducing kangaroo mother care was not mortality, but mainly to decrease abandonment of babies, leaving the babies in the NICU and going home. So that was an unintended benefit which has helped most of the world. Second, there's one which said whether given in premature neonates improves brain volumes and conductivity of neurons. The answer is true. I will be speaking on it about 1 hour from now in a KMC, in a webinar on KMC by NNF Karnataka. What it essentially shows is the conductivity of neurons does improve. Those babies who got KMC did have better nerve conduction. And when they did MRIs of those babies when they became adolescent children, they found that the brain volumes in certain areas of the brain was actually more than those babies who did not receive KMC. Interestingly, some of the babies' nerve conduction was better than term babies who did not at that point of time need to give KMC. Then there was a question about kangaroo mother care is better at rewarming hypothermic newborns as compared to incubators. Surprisingly, it is true. More surprising is that the research is actually 40 years old. So when they tried warming up people who came hypothermic from the periphery. Babies did better when they were in kangaroo mother care rather than they were in incubators. And one of the questions that was asked, I don't know if it was asked, but can kangaroo mother care cause temperature changes in the mother's chest tissue, in the breast tissue? So what they have found is if you keep twins on the chest, and if those twins are at different temperatures when they're kept, each breast tissue can warm up independently. Again, surprising, but it is proven by research, published research. One of the last questions that was discussed is Kangaroo Mother Care was, so it began somewhere in the 80s, late 78, 90 or 80s, 1980. And then for almost 20, 25 years, almost 30 years actually, till 2010, there was no research which said that Kangaroo Mother Care decreased neonatal mortality. So when Dr. Shashivani joined our institute in Pramukh Swami Medical College as a faculty in 2001, that was the time I was introduced to KMC, and they started KMC in NICU. I used to feel that ये क्या हो रहा है, मतलब warmer है तो why KMC चल रहा है. So that what everyone feels. Even I also felt the same thing. And so that time when I had remembered searching something, and it showed that it was a Cochrane review, and it showed that Kangaroo Mother Care is not known to improve neonatal mortality. When you look at a KMC systematic review at that point of time in 2003, 2004, I think, it said that it did not decrease neonatal mortality. But later on in 2010, when they had enough data, enough research that was done, it was proven, and it is now currently proven beyond doubt, that Kangaroo Mother Care not only decreases neonatal mortality, it decreases hypothermia, improves weight gain, improves length, improves head circumference, improves neuronal mass, etc., so on and so forth. There's so many benefits of giving Kangaroo Mother Care. So with a brief overview of the questions that were asked, I will go to the questions that were Dr. Mohammed Shahid has asked whether there is a study in which KMC can be given in babies above 2.5 kg. So there are studies that are done in term babies who are more than 2.5 kg who have received Kangaroo Mother Care. The studies essentially say that Kangaroo Mother Care can be given. Feasibility is there. Mothers feel better, and even children feel better. Even in NICU, if you want to have a pain control intervention, a 2.6 kg or 2.7 kg baby can be given skin care, and after which 15-20 minutes later you can do a heel trick. So definitely you can give Kangaroo Mother Care in babies who are more than 2.5 kg. Dr. Ronak has asked for KMC duration and timings for nurses to chart. So these are available. We'll send it across to you. I will post it in the various groups that we are. And this can be actually put up in the baby's record. So I will share those on the WhatsApp group, which is currently there, and also the group which DRAV has formed. Another question was how to counsel mothers for KMC promotion. I think Dr. Suman Rao mentioned it in her talk. I think even Dr. Ashish, both of them have mentioned, that no amount of showing them videos or showing them charts will help make mothers comfortable or know that Kangaroo Mother Care is good. So one of the best ways to do is for the mother to see other mothers doing Kangaroo Mother Care in the same NICU, and then maybe get one of those mothers to talk. So when I was doing my fellowship in St. John's in Bangalore, I did a KMC project in which I used to gather all the mothers every week and get them to see a video on KMC, and get one of the mothers who was doing Kangaroo Mother Care for more than 3, 4, 5 days, talk to the rest of the mothers in their language, which was Kannada at that time. There. So if the mothers talk to other mothers and convince them, there is nothing better. Next best is probably the nurse, and then third would be the doctors. So unless you have individual counseling that is done, you of course should have literature in the NICU which suggests that KMC is better. But unless a nurse or a doctor sits with the individual mother and counsels the need for Kangaroo Mother Care, it is unlikely to be followed. It is not like that you can just say कि इसको injection दे दो, इसको drug दे दो. It's not that easy. It's a behavioral change, and for people to change behavior, it requires a lot of convincing or a talk which needs to be done. So I think I don't know if there are any more questions which I have missed. Okay, Dr. Hiran is asking about how to convince OB doctor and parents when baby born by LSCS. So this was a trick which one of my students told me. He said, if you want to convince the gynecologist, then get a senior anesthetist to talk to the gynecologist. That is one better way to do it, rather than you directly convincing a gynecologist. It's quite difficult, especially if the person is your wife or if it is a spouse. But I think getting them to listen to talks like this, sharing evidence-based literature which can be utilized, should do the trick. Maybe sponsor them a conference registration, KMC conference next year, So there's a question for Suman Madam. Yeah, Mohit. So Mohit had asked a question. This was related to, I think, RCT. So Mohit had a question. I'll just read out the question. I think I missed it. The question was basically about whether we can have two groups. In one group where we give KMC, and in another group we don't give KMC, and whether PDA closure will be different. Now, it's not possible to do that currently because KMC is a intervention which needs to be given. Even if I want to do something, I usually would probably look at duration of KMC, who got more duration of KMC and who got less duration of KMC. So based upon that, you can, so if you can probably give KMC to all the patients in the group, and if they have, what do you say, if there is a fear that they will not be able to, let's say, like if you can find out there's a difference between the hours of KMC that is received, then probably you'll be able to make out that whether PDA closure occurs in the group which got more KMC or not. It would be quite a difficult study. But there's another paper that I want to talk about, and it is published, I think not yet published, but accepted for publication, and the article is in press. This is of Mohit's interest. It's published by Arvind Sehgal from Australia, and they looked at circulatory physiology changes using echocardiographic measures. They found that in even preterm babies, 40 self-ventilating preterm infants, they looked at cardiac performance and cerebral blood flow. Okay, assessments were carried out 2 hours before skin-to-skin care and then 60 minutes after skin-to-skin care. Okay, while the baby was still on the parent and turned supine. They found significant circulatory beneficial adaptation to KMC. Okay, so in other words, what you're looking for the answer. So your basic question is whether it will affect PDA or not. The probable answer is it definitely affects brain circulation, cerebral circulation, affects cardiovascular function. So in other ways, it will definitely affect PDA. Whether PDA will close faster or not, that I can't say, but KMC does definitely have changes preterm circulatory physiology. I think I would hold at that, and if there is any other question, I can respond. Hello?
I don't see any other question on the chat.
Yeah, so there's no other question. So maybe back to Mohit, and I would just like to thank NNF Gujarat and Academy of Pediatrics Gujarat for arranging this and collaborating with us. As you can see in the background, it's the International Kangaroo Mother Care Awareness Day, and probably this is our second thing, and we have a third one actually going on currently with UNICEF, and Madam Mane is left for that. And so hopefully we should be able to propagate KMC even further, and more people should take it up. And remember, it is going to affect the brain. It will improve the brain parenchyma of all the preterm babies that you look at. And today there is no systematic review which says KMC definitely improves IQ. But 20 years from now, I'm sure you will get a systematic review which says that. Thank you again from my side, and I hand over back to Mohit.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for summarizing and with your encouraging words. Now I think now there are no more questions, and I would like to thank everyone for participating into this, and thanks AOP Gujarat and KMC Foundation India and Madam, Sir, and everyone for making this to happen on this such day. So thanks a lot. Thanks Vinay for hosting and controlling all the switchboard knobs. So I think so we are done with final bye and thanks to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Yeah, bye.